This footage was apparently filmed in a maternity hospital in Mariupol. President Zelensky has released it and says children are trapped under the wreckage. A cot can be seen in one shot. In his message, the president implores the West to impose a no-fly zone, but there's no sign of that happening. Besieged and battered, these are the latest pictures from Sumy, which is close to the border with Russia. Once this is all over, what happened in Sumy may well be a test case by those who want to press charges of war crimes. 7,000 civilians have finally been evacuated. The line of refugees continues to cross the river Irpin. Imagine having to rescue your granddad like this, or carrying all you can on rickety planks, getting people and pets out of harm's way. This woman says it's terrible what's going on in Bucha. The poor, poor people. Why is this happening to us? Kiev holds out, but the explosions are not far. President Zelensky targeted his latest broadcast at Russian soldiers. He said, "We will not surrender because this is our home. You can still save yourselves if you just go home." These pictures of aid apparently being handed out in the Kharkiv region are Russian propaganda. They were filmed by the Russian Defense Ministry, and as we watch them, it's worth remembering who attacked the city in the first place. Perhaps an even more chilling image is this, the hammer and sickle of the old Soviet Union flying from Russian tanks. They are making progress, albeit much slower than expected. One theory is that Putin bounced his generals into the war.
I don't get the impression this is an operation that the Russian military would want to have undertaken because the risks are so high. And it's certainly the case that from the evidence that we have, that large numbers of the Russian troops involved had no idea that this was the operation that they were being prepared to undertake.
Like Sumy, a ceasefire was finally agreed in Mariupol. It is a desperate scene. The International Red Cross, which always chooses its words carefully, has called the situation here apocalyptic. This medic says there's no heating, electricity, water, gas. In other words, there's nothing. The water is collected from the roofs after the rain. Day 14 of war in Europe. If this was black and white, it could be the Blitz. But it's not. It's now.
Desperate situation on the ground, and Simon's here. And Simon, there were reports that Poland had offered fighter jets to America to help Ukraine last night, but President Biden has rejected that, hasn't he?
Yes, the US has said thanks but no thanks. Poland floated this idea of donating their MiG-29 jets to the USA, flying them to the US Air Force Base at Ramstein in Germany in return for some American jets. America said thanks but no thanks. They don't want any risk of escalation there, so that's not going to happen.
OK, what about these developments in Chernobyl, the nuclear plant, which Russian troops are said to occupy with no power? What's going on there?
Yeah, in Ukraine, of course, and the Ukrainian government saying very dangerous, with no power there to cool the spent fuel rods. But the generators are working, and the UN watchdog has said no cause for concern, that there is sufficient cooling there. So no cause for concern at the nuclear power plant, which had that big explosion, of course, in 1986.
Yeah, of course. OK, Simon, for the moment, thanks very much.